These are the Geiger counters that we're going to be using in the lab today. A couple of things that I want to point out on the Geiger counter. This is your on-off switch. It should be on, and then this switch right here should be set to 60 seconds. If you take a look, the green light was just on. What that means is that the counter is going to start over, and it's going to count the number of particles that hit the sensor in 1 minute or 60 seconds. So it's going to time this for you. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to talk about some things and we'll wait for that green light to come back on. Your Geiger counter should be plugged in. This is your sensor. Your meter stick should be placed right at the center. This is one of the mistakes that can go wrong in this lab, is that your meter stick gets shifted or moved and it's no longer pointed directly at the sensor. What we're getting right now is called background radiation. So the sensor is just picking up radioactive particles that are normally in the room, and it is just called background radiation. And we're going to wait for that green light to come back on, like I said. And if you notice this counter here, the counter is going to go back to 0 as soon as that green light comes on. Once the green light comes on, you will have about 3 to 5 seconds to set up your next experiment. So there's the green light. Our background radiation was 20. I'm going to set a beta source at 3 centimeters, just so you can see what's going to happen next. The beta sources emit quite a few particles, as you can see here. Remember, our background radiation was 20. So we started at 0 again. Once that green light came on, I had about 3 seconds to get the beta source set up. Watch the counter. The counter is only going to go to 999. Once it gets there, it starts over. So in my head, I have to remember that I was at 1,000, and so now I'm at 1,300. And this counter is going to continue to go until that green light comes on. The beta sources emit quite a few particles. So this is going to roll over again. It's going to get to 999. So now we're at 2,000, and again, this is 2,065 counts per minute for the beta source. Now, just to give you an idea of the other sources, here's an alpha source. I'm going to set that at 3. Notice it's not nearly as exciting as the beta source at 3 centimeters. You're going to see a little bit more radiation there. And then just so you can see the difference, here's the gamma at 3. So I set all of these sources at 3. The alpha and the gamma, I'm not going to leave those for a full minute, but you can see the gamma has more particles being emitted than alpha, but that the beta emits significant numbers of particles. So what you are doing in lab today, you are going to be looking at these particles. You're going to be determining their penetrating ability. So you're going to have cardboard, glass, and lead as shields. You are going to then do 2 plates of glass and 2 plates of lead, and you are also going to look at the Fiesta ware and compare that and figure out what type of radiation is being emitted from the Fiesta ware, and you're going to be looking at distance from the source. So you'll set the sources at a couple different distances. Remember, the alpha sources are not going to be very exciting. The beta is obviously very exciting, and then the gamma we're really looking at its penetrating ability. So just a couple reminders again. The meter stick needs to be always pointing at the sensor. This always needs to be pointed towards 60 seconds. The green light means it's time to start your experiment, and it will read for 60 seconds. And we're going to go ahead and leave the Geiger counters on all day long. So when we're done, go ahead and leave them on.